Hi there, you're watching Dukascopy TV. Today I'm joined by Siddharth Kothari from Sunidhi Securities and Finance to take a look at his outlook for India this year. Industrial production for the month of November rebounded in India with 3.8% growth. This is the most in 5 months. Now, how did Diwali impact these numbers, and what is your outlook for this year?
We are looking for IIP growth to clock around like 2.3 to 2.5% for this year. And we see the things sustaining now after the end of the slack season that was created because of too many working holidays during Diwali. So now we will have a consistent rate of growth going forward.
Moving over to trade, India's trade deficit with China rose to $37.8 billion in 2014. It hit an all-time high in 2011. So why did we see it rise again, and what are you expecting to see in terms of trade relations this year?
Oh, well, as far as if we speak in India specific, the trade deficit has narrowed down. So for the first half, for April to September, we have the trade deficit coming down to $73 billion from around $84 billion in the corresponding year last year. Now, as far as China goes, we have the trade deficit surging, particularly because there are two-way reasons. We have the imports increasing in terms of the electronic imports as well as onto the capital goods account. While onto the export side, there has been a continuous deceleration that we have been witnessing since 2011. And particularly the policies from China has been restricting the stronghold of India for that matter, particularly our stronghold into IT and as well as pharmaceuticals. That has a restriction as far as it goes to our exports into China. So that's keeping the momentum quite aside. So although our growth scenario is picking up, so we tend to import more onto the consumer durables, that is the electronic goods, as well as onto the capital goods. So that said, though from the China front, we are importing more, the exports are not picking up. But I believe yes, as we have had a recent trade basically measures that were being taken even by the Prime Minister Modi, we believe that yes, things should ease out and the trade imbalance should come to a convergence wherein we can have a favorable situation developing forward.
Narendra Modi is clearly on a serious mission to boost growth. Do you think he will be able to make it the world's fastest growing economy in Modi's 4th year of power? And what are the main challenges getting in the way?
Well, certainly the efforts are on. He is the political will is purely directed to bring the country to once again to regain its high growth trajectory towards 7% and 8%, which happens to be the long-term potential growth. Now, the hurdles that are there, obviously, the bipartisan politics that is playing out, is basically a hurdle. Under the upper house of parliament, the Rajya Sabha, the ruling government does not have a majority. So there the obstacles will continue to play. And in that regard, to clear out all the obstacles or the hurdles, what it is doing is we are getting into the Prime Minister has promulgated the ordinance route. So already many of the steps have been taken forward. So we believe once they are ratified and the things should move on a much faster pace from here.
And looking at India's currency, what sort of trading trends are we seeing, and what is your medium and long-term forecast for the rupee against the US dollar?
Yes, particularly if we got to see that with India being a major oil importer, with our around almost 65 to 70% of our oil requirements are being imported. So with the oil prices coming down, we'll be very favorably poised with these developments. So our oil average basket was around $108 for last fiscal, and I believe going into the next fiscal, we should be averaging around $65 to $70 per barrel. So that said, for we'll be having a very favorable trade deficit, or we might get into a trade surplus situation from here. And that said, it will also be a BOP, much larger BOP for us. So that put into context, we can see rupee just hovering at close to current levels between 61 and 63, and I would not rule out like we can see an appreciating mode for that matter. And to put it into the numbers, I'll say like we can see the rupee towards 61 by the end of March for that matter.
Thank you very much. Well, viewers, do stay tuned as we have plenty more heading your way. See you very soon.